Are left chest logos stressing you out? I'm about to show you the easiest way to get a left chest logo embroidered perfectly. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice. This is Craftable Things. We love to craft all the things over here, but today we are going to be embroidering. So I have an order for some left chest logos, and I want to show you all how I embroider my left chest logos. I will be using the Hoop Master and Mighty Hoops to get the perfect placement for my left chest logo. So let's get started. For this order, we're going to be using the Hoop Master, and this is going to help us get perfect placement for our left chest logo. So if you purchase the Hoop Master or the Mighty Hoops, you will get instructions on what they suggest for placement. You can alter that depending on the brand of the shirt and different things like that. However, we're going to use what they suggest, and they suggest for our hoop to be at the F mark and on 20. So now it's time for us to align the fixture, and we are just simply going to place this at F20. Okay, so let's get ready. I'm gonna eyeball that 20, and I see right here, and I'm just gonna push it down. There are pegs and holes for you to be able to snap it into place just like that. Okay, so now we are at the F mark and we are on 20. The next thing we're going to do is get our 5.5 by 5.5 Mighty Hoop, and this is going to lift up, and then I'm going to snap it back into place. Okay, so after we're done with this, we're going to apply our stabilizer. The next thing we're going to do is get ready to place our stabilizer once we have the bottom part of the hoop on, and I'm just going to lift these up. These are magnetic, and they just help secure your stabilizer prior to placing the top hoop. Okay, and so I'm just going to place this stabilizer here, and we're going to close it in. I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit because this stabilizer is a bit worn. The next thing I'm going to do is put our shirt on the hooping station and line it up. So it's going to go like this. And I did make a mark on the shirt just to make sure it goes exactly where it should. And you want to make sure that you have your buttons lined up. And then come and bring. All right, so now we're hooped. So now we have our shirt placed onto the hooping station, and we're just going to slide this on. And so with this, I need to make sure, especially for my machine, if you are interested in Mighty Hoops, the link will be listed below, but you have to make sure that you purchase the correct Mighty Hoops for your specific machine. And Mighty Hoops does make hoops, or they have the brackets for various types of machines, okay? So I just want to go ahead and slide this on. If you notice, there's two slots here, and on the back you have 3 sets of screws, and I'm just going to fit that into there, and we're going to drop it down. So there we have it. And so the next thing that we have to do, all we have to do is push this down, and it's going to attach to the hoop. So let's get ready to do our push. Okay, and everything looks really good. Then I am just going to bring this up, and we are all hooped. Now let's just look at the back just to make sure we're good. It does feel nice and taut, so let's check. I can feel it from the front part, like it feels nice and tight, and that's what we have. Very, very good. All right, guys, so I've gone ahead and hooped our machine with the shirt. Now I just need to set the color and make sure I have the correct hoop selected for the stitch out. All right, this is the Ricoma Marquee screen. We're going to change our hoop. We're going to be using the 5.5 mighty hoop. This is a custom hoop setting. They have the preset hoops that come with the machine, but you can put custom settings inside for custom hoop sizes. So we're going to be doing the mighty hoop 5.5. I'm just going to select that and then click select hoop. Yes. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is go to our design. We already selected it, but you can put everything on a USB, or you can have it sent wirelessly to the machine. Once it's on the USB, then you're just going to go to the machine. Once you have it on the USB and you click select it to put it onto the machine, then you're just going to go to the machine tab, and then you're going to hit the design. And this is our design right here. And it looks really, really good in that hoop. So now I'm just going to go to select color. And at select color, as you see, certain things are blinking, and then you also have an idea of what part the design is, okay, what part you're going to be stitching. So for this part, we're going to go with a white thread. That's going to be my number 2. And then it keeps taking you to all of the other color stops. So as you see, it's taking us here. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to continue to select the colors for this design. Okay, so we have all the colors selected, and the only other thing that I'm going to do at this point is change this from automatic manual to automatic, because it just needs to stitch it all out. I don't need to stop and do anything to the design as it's stitching. So we're going to change that to automatic. Everything looks good. Now I'm going to click save. Now that we have this saved, the next thing that I want to do is, everything else is fine. We don't need to mess around with the design settings, but the next thing that I want to do is I want to go into setup mode. That way I'll be able to trace our design. So I'm just going to hit setup mode. Yes. And then here you get the options to trace, hoop out, go to the origin point or stop point, float. You can do, if you ever need to go back, this is where you would go. Okay. So now we're just going to select trace, and we're going to head to our hoop. The trace option will give you trace area and trace design. You can trace the area to see how, the amount of space you need if you're within that space, and then trace design is a more contoured type of trace. I'm going to put our machine on needle 1. And that is the center mark right there. And then we are just simply going to trace. Right, so that's going to be the trace of the whole design, okay? So I just did a regular trace design, but the trace area will cover that, but that actually takes you along the shape of the design. This is important so that you don't hit your hoop. You don't want to do that. Okay, we are pretty much ready to begin, and to begin with the machine, you have to do like a hard press. And then it will Alright guys, we're all done. We're just going to remove it from the machine, and then we're going to go and check to make sure our placement looks good. Alright guys, we are all done, and now it's time for us to remove the hoop. And you always want to be careful when using your mighty hoops because that magnet is super strong. And here is our left chest logo. Let me straighten this shirt out. I think we got excellent placement. I think we have excellent placement. Look at that. That looks awesome. So now I'm just going to go and clean up a few things. We're going to remove the stabilizer from the back. And I'm also going to place a little bit of Tender Touch here on the back as well. So this is what our back looks like. Not too shabby. So I do want to go and just cut some of these loose threads here. And then we're going to cut that stabilizer. I'm going to turn it like this, just so that I don't cut any area that doesn't need to be cut on the shirt. I have cut several holes in shirts before, so I don't want to do that. I do want to avoid making that mistake. Alright guys, so I'm just going to cut around that image, and you want to make sure you leave a little bit of that stabilizer around. You don't want to cut super close to the stitches, but we are going to just trim it up a little bit more. After this, I'm going to apply Tender Touch to the back because that just gives it a nice professional feel, and everything looks like it turned out good. I really love it. Alright y'all, so we are all done with embroidering our left chest logo, and it looks fantastic. It looks amazing, and so much so that when I sent the client the picture, at first he was like, can you bring it up a little bit? And then he decided to come and try it on, and he was like, oh, it's perfect. So you definitely want to check out the Hoop Master Station and the Mighty Hoops. If you're like me and you struggle with placement, and especially when it comes to embroidering and hooping and all of that, then your Mighty Hoops will definitely help you to get that done a lot easier. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, listed below in the description is everything that I used today. If you want to check that stuff out, do a little bit of research and see if Mighty Hoops or even the Ricoma Marquee 2001 works for you. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.